Hey everybody, so today I just wanted to take a look at some of the iOS 6 features that are exclusive to the iPhone 4S and 5. So on the right here is an iPhone 5 to show you what features will be available on the 4S and 5. And then this is an iPhone 4, which will show you what's available on the iPhone 3GS and the 4. And there are a couple of features for the iPhone 4 that aren't on the 3GS, so we'll go over those later. But first of all is Amber Alerts. So if you go into notification settings and scroll down to the bottom, you can see we have government alerts. We have Amber Alerts and emergency alerts only for the 4S and 5. And then also the auto brightness on the 4S and 5 works a little bit differently. So you can see it's turned on both, but when you turn it on and off on the iPhone 4 and 3GS, you can see the slider doesn't move, it just dims the screen down. With the iPhone 5, turn this off, and then we move this up, and as soon as we turn it on, it will very gradually move down. Doesn't look like it's working right now, but like if we bring it down and then we shine a light on it, like this, you'll see the slider gradually moves up, like that. We can do the same thing for the iPhone 4, and the screen will get brighter, but it's not going to move the brightness slider. Also for like the lock screen, auto brightness will work for the lock screen on the iPhone 5, so it'll actually have the correct brightness. Instead of this is always at half brightness, so 50%. But you can see with the 4S and 5, it will match what will be once you unlock the device. And then another small thing is an equalizer setting that's only for the iPhone 4S and 5 in music. And equalizer. And it is the late night option. It's only available on the 4S and 5 right there. So those are kind of the minor things. The bigger things are in the Maps application. So for the newer devices, you are going to get turn-by-turn navigation and flyover. So you can see we have a 3D option for the 5, and then if we slide up, well, it's all basically the same, but we can do directions, and we'll just do Apple Store. Okay. So it said directions unavailable. I don't know what that was, but you can still get directions obviously on here, but it's not turn-by-turn navigation. So let's try that again. Okay, so there we go. You can see this is all the same. The map isn't loading properly on here, but if we start...
Starting route to Apple the Woodlands.
Oops, okay.
Head west on Baldwin Street.
So you can see, get the turn-by-turn with the Siri voice narrating. This is just basically, shows you which way to go. It's not going to guide you through it. You just have to figure it out. So yeah, and you can see this is a nice full screen view. Maybe if we hit this, nope. Okay, so yeah, just a little bit different there. And then again, the flyover, let's try that. So you have the 3D button. You have to be closer to something, like let's go to New York City, for example. And here. And then we can turn on the 3D. And well, this is just the regular map. We can turn on satellite. And then this is pretty cool, so we can zoom in and around. Of course, only for the iPhone 5 and 4S. So there's that in the maps. Another thing is going to be in the camera. You get a panorama option on the 4S and 5, so you can see that here under options. Oops. So you can see that panorama button. Let's take a panoramic picture like that. And yeah, so that's for the 4S and 5. And then you will see, obviously, since there's a taller screen, you get a bigger camera button or shutter button, so it's a little bit easier to press. However, it is going to be slightly zoomed in because the view area is slightly taller than 4:3, so it's going to be zoomed in. So let's take like a picture of this, and then so you can see when we take the picture, you can just barely see the camera app at the corner of it. And then once we go in and view the photo, you can see a little bit more of it. So just slightly zoomed in, but that's not the case with the iPhone 4 and 4S. If we go into video mode here, you can see this actually takes up the whole screen, where we still have this bar on the 4 and 4S. We can double tap to zoom out to see the whole view, but this just looks better. And also another thing, this is for the iPhone 5 only, so not the 4S, but you can actually take pictures during video recording, so that's pretty cool, not on the 4S. Other camera features for the iPhone 5 exclusively is improved video stabilization. So the iPhone 4 and 3GS don't have any video stabilization at all. The 4S does, and then the iPhone 5 improves upon that. And also, you do get face detection during video recording. So there's no face detection on the 3GS and 4, but you do get face detection for photos on the 4S, but you also have it for videos on the 5. So you can see the square appears around there. And then of course Siri is only available on the 4S and the 5, so have Siri right here, and then pressing and holding the home button on the 3GS and 4 just brings up voice control, which it does, you do have to press the home button for a considerably longer amount of time to bring that up. But yeah, Siri only for the newer ones. Another thing is that you can make FaceTime calls over cellular on the 4S and 5. And the last thing that is exclusive to the iPhone 4 and the 5 is made for iPhone hearing aids. So you'll find this in accessibility, and you can see we have this hearing aids section where you compare your made for iPhone hearing aids as well as hearing aid mode. I thought the iPhone 4 did have the hearing aid mode, but just not the made for iPhone. Not seeing that though, so yeah, not sure where they have that. Alright, so those are all the features that are exclusive to the iPhone 4S and 5 in iOS 6. Now we're going to look at the features that you're getting on the iPhone 4, but not the 3GS. So there's just two of them. Let's bring in a 3GS here. So the first one is on the lock screen. If you double press the home button to bring up the music player, you can see that the knob on the volume slider actually like lusters, so I don't know how well you can see that. But as you rotate the phone, the knob kind of changes, so it actually looks realistic and it's all shiny. You're not getting that on the 3GS or the iPod Touch 4th generation. The other thing is in Safari, you have offline reading list. So let's go to our reading list here. So you can save web pages for offline reading only on the 4S and newer, or the 4 and newer, sorry, probably because of the additional RAM it has, 512 megabytes, so yeah. And then when comparing the cameras on the 3GS and the 4, there's a couple more options for the 4. So first of all, you get HDR, and then also you have your flash controls as well as the switch camera, because obviously the iPhone 3GS doesn't have a flash or a front-facing camera. Alright, so those are just the features that you get on the 4, not the 3GS or iPod Touch 4th generation. Basically, the 3GS and the iPod Touch 4th generation, all the iOS 6 features are the same. They all have the same, or they both have the same amount of features that you're getting. iPhone 4, you just get those two little additional ones. And then the 4S and 5 are pretty much the same. You're getting all the features, except for the iPhone 5, you get a couple extra camera features. And another tiny little minor thing, this is really the only thing that the iPod Touch 4th generation gets that the iPhone 3GS doesn't. You can see when you install a new app, you get this ribbon that says new on it. On the 3GS, you still get that ribbon, but it doesn't say new. This is likely just due to the Retina display. There just probably wasn't enough resolution on here in order to display that text. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.